So what is your SCM muscle? Your SCM muscle is a muscle that goes from your jaw down to the front of your neck. And you can actually see it when you turn your head. So that muscle there is your SCM. It attaches from your mastoid process at the base of your skull, well, base-ish of your skull, and it goes down to your clavicle. That muscle is responsible for turning your head in the opposite direction. So if the muscle's on the right side, it's turning it to the left. It's also responsible for tilting your head. And then if both sides fire at the same time, they're responsible for bringing your head forward. So like if you're texting a lot, that's when you'll notice that the most. Now we know what the muscle does. If these muscles are too tight, it can lead to headaches, jaw pain, it can lead to poor posture or muscle fatigue, neck and shoulder pain, all of that stuff. Specifically shoulder and neck pain. So if these muscles are tight and they're pulling us forward, it's going to make these muscles in the back part of our neck work twice as hard to hold us upright. So a good example of that is if you turn to the side and your neck is forward, these muscles are tight. These muscles now have more weight because of gravity. They have more weight to hold my head up than they would if my head was in neutral. Let's go over how to work your SCM muscles. So the way I like to start with just static holds. So I'm going to take my index finger, my pointer finger, and my thumb. I'm going to take the side of my index finger and place it on that front line of the muscle. And I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to grab the back part. Okay, and I like to work my way from the top to bottom. So I'm just going to grab it. And if I find a tender point, I like to hold it and breathe and wait for it to kind of let go, release a little bit, and then I move on to the next one. And then I'm going to move on down and do it again. All the way down. Okay, the next thing I like to do is Petrissage. So you're basically going to be grabbing the muscle belly and gently pulling or tugging on the actual muscle. So I like to grab that, same thing as before, and instead of holding it statically, I'm just gonna pull on it a little bit, just a little. Shouldn't be painful, maybe slightly uncomfortable, but that's okay because we're making change, we're doing things to that muscle, so I like to call that therapeutic discomfort. You can hold that muscle and then start rolling it between your thumb and your finger. So if you have the muscle here, I'm holding it, you can kind of roll it up and down or roll it back and forth between those two fingers. And you can do that all the way down as well. If you are grabbing that muscle and it kind of pops or slips away from your hands, that's okay. Just lighten your pressure a little bit and hold it and wait for that muscle to relax a little bit more. You don't want to force anything. So, other techniques you can do is friction. I like to do that at the attachments where the tendons are. So I like to do that at that mastoid process. So I take my two fingers there and I'm just going to go back and forth across the fibers like a guitar string. You can also go in a circle or you can go up and down with the muscle fiber. And then I'll kind of strip it. So I'll go with the muscle fiber all the way down. I'm using a moderate pressure with this. I'm going all the way down to the other attachment. It's a little bit easier to do if you have like a little bit of lotion or a little bit of oil. Ooh, not a tender point. Get to the other attachment, you can do friction here as well. So because it attaches to the clavicle and that manubrium, that top part of your sternum, I'm gonna actually start there because I feel that tendon a little bit more. You're gonna hold that there, and again, you can go across the fiber, or you can go with it, or you can even go in a circle. And then I'm gonna work my way all the way out to that clavicle. And then once I've done all of that, I like to finish it off with some stretching. So if I'm stretching this side, because it does opposite side rotation, it fires when I turn this direction. To stretch it, I'm going to go the opposite way. So I'm going to turn my head this way. And I should be able to get a decent amount of rotation here. But if I'm only going this far, another technique is called METs. So I'm basically going to take my hand and I'm going to apply some resistance. So I'm going to turn my head into my hand way to stretch it, because if it's on this side, if this is the muscle we're working, it also does this. So to stretch it, we're gonna go the opposite way. So I'll grab my head and pull it. And if I can only go like, say this far or this far, do METs again. So I can push into my hand for 10 seconds and then relax and see if I can go further. And then 10 seconds and then relax and go further. And if we're stretching both sides, because if both sides are tight, they're gonna pull our head forward. A good stretch to do is to practice like tucking your chin and then going back. You can also just look up. I don't like doing that quite as much. If I do that, I like to hang off the edge of the bed and let my head drop. It's a little less strain on my neck that way, but you can stretch it like that as well. Who should do this? Everyone can benefit from SCM work. If you're someone that drives a lot, if you use your cell phone, if you work at a desk job, or spend a lot of time on the computer, you can benefit from SCM work, especially in this day and age. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you get some good use out of it. I hope it helps. It's not going to replace getting a massage from your massage therapist, but it's going to at least help you a little bit, as opposed to not having anything in your toolbox. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.